Welcome to The Explainer. You know all that noise in the financial news? Well, in the next few minutes, we're going to cut right through it. We're going to give you a clear, really powerful guide to understanding the economy so you can make much smarter investment decisions. So let's start with a question well, it's pretty frustrating, isn't it? You can do all the homework on a company. You pick what feels like a surefire winner, and you still end up watching your investment just struggle. So what are we all missing? The answer often isn't about the company itself. A great company in a really bad economic environment, it's like a strong swimmer trying to fight a powerful tide. It means that ignoring the big picture, what we're calling the economic weather, is one of the single biggest risks any investor can take. And this is exactly why we think of economic indicators as your financial forecast. They tell you whether you should expect sunshine and growth or if, a storm is brewing on the horizon. So let's figure out how to read this forecast. All right, so in this first section, we're going to take what often feels like this confusing mess of data and turn it into a simple, clear picture. Our goal here is to give you a really straightforward framework. I want you to think of it like a quick health check you can perform on the economy. This way, you'll know exactly when your strategy should be aggressive and when it's probably time to be a bit more cautious. Let's dive in by checking the three most important vital signs of economic health. We're talking about GDP, IIP, and PMI. Seriously, just understanding these three will give you a powerful snapshot of what's happening right now. First up, we've got GDP, the big one. You've definitely heard of it. It's basically the total score for the entire economy. Now, for an investor, what matters isn't just a single number. It's the trend. A consistent upward trend that signals a healthy, growing market where both businesses and consumers can really thrive. Next, we zoom in a little with the IIP. This indicator tells us if the industrial heart of the economy is beating strongly. Are our factories actually churning out goods? Are those core sectors expanding? A rising IIP is a fantastic sign, especially for manufacturing and infrastructure stocks. And now for the PMI, which I have to say is my personal favorite. See, while GDP and IIP are a bit like looking in the rearview mirror, telling us what's already happened, the PMI is our crystal ball. It's a survey of business leaders about their future orders and plans. That makes it an incredible early warning signal for what's coming next. And the best part? Interpreting the PMI is just beautifully simple. It's like a litmus test for the economy. If the reading is above 50, it means business managers are optimistic and they're expecting to expand. But if it drops below 50, that signals they're getting ready for a contraction. It's just a quick, powerful number to keep an eye on every month. Okay, this is where the real power comes in, seeing how these three signals work together. If you see GDP rising, IIP rising, and a PMI over 50, well, you're getting a clear green light for a strong, bullish economy. But if all three are pointing down, that's a major warning sign to shift your strategy towards being more defensive. Okay, so we've checked the vitals. Now let's talk about the economic temperature. That's inflation. And who controls the thermostat, which is the Reserve Bank of India. Most people just assume that inflation is always a bad thing. But that's not quite right. For a growing economy like India's, a little bit of inflation is actually healthy. The RBI is aiming for this sweet spot, right around 4 to 6%. It tells us that demand is strong and the economy has some real positive momentum. But, and this is a big but, not all inflation is created equal, and understanding the difference is absolutely key. Good inflation, that's driven by high demand, lots of people wanting to buy things. Bad inflation comes from supply problems, like when oil prices skyrocket. It just squeezes company profits without any real growth happening. So the context is everything. So how is this economic temperature actually controlled? This is where the RBI steps in with its policy tools, which are kind of like these giant levers that can speed up or slow down the flow of money through the entire economy. The most important lever they have is the repo rate. When the RBI raises it, it gets more expensive for banks to borrow money. And what do? They pass that cost right on to us through higher rates on our business loans and home loans. This naturally makes everyone borrow and spend a little less, which cools down an economy that's getting too hot. Now, the repo rate is the main one, but the RBI has other levers too, like the reverse repo rate, CRR, and SLR. Look, you don't need to be an expert on every single one. Just understand their collective purpose. They all work together to fine-tune the amount of cash or liquidity that's available in the system for lending. That's the key. All right, we've covered the vitals and we've covered the controls. Now for the final section and the most important one. Let's build your personal playbook so you can put all this knowledge directly into action. So let's put it all together. This is your monthly checklist. It's a simple but incredibly powerful routine. Every month, just take a few minutes. Check these signals. You can find this data pretty easily on websites for the National Statistical Office or the RBI. You'll quickly see the trend. You'll connect that big economic picture to your specific sectors, and you'll stay way ahead of the curve. Ultimately, all of this comes down to one core philosophy for smarter investing. Think about it. Great companies in a bad economy often struggle, while even average ones can soar in a booming market. The secret is to put the wind at your back by mastering the big picture first. So always remember, master the macro, then focus on the micro. And the question I want to leave you with is this. Based on the economic weather today, are you positioned for a storm or for sunshine? Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.